Good evening and welcome to another IADC update. This evening we are going to be looking in depth at the spanning of the Yambou River, and as I have been saying, that this is by far now the most exciting thing for me that is happening here at the Argyle International Airport. And this river spanning is quite complex, yet having not had the experience, our people are getting the work done under the supervision of the man here to my left, our beloved Professor Leonardo Perez, and one of his engineering staff, Mr. Aluko Dublin, and they have other supervisory staff as well, some of whom you will meet throughout this interview here this evening. It is a good moment to inform the people, and a lot of people have been asking, they've been looking at the progress on our Facebook page, they've been seeing what we're showing them on the API and elsewhere, so they have been following the progress of this spanning of the Yambou River. If you could just bring us up to date as to where we are at the moment, and then Leonardo, we will go through step by step, because there are so many different stages for this construction work that's going on here, and we need to explain to folks exactly what it is we're dealing with so that they have a better understanding of the work that is being done here. So just bring us quickly up to date as to where we are with the progress of the work.
Bueno, esta obra tiene cuatro.
This project has 5 important stages. The first is the excavation, where we excavated 82,000 cubic meters of material to get to the stage now where we can start doing the channels for the foundation. The second stage is the construction of the base for the structure. So for now, all the concrete works that you see being done here, installing the base and the beam, so that we can start the installation of the structure. This is the most difficult part of the and most time consuming stage of the construction process. We have had to place approximately 7,000 cubic meters of concrete, but we're hoping to finish this by the end of this month.
Esa es una buena noticia porque la tercera etapa.
The other stage, which is the actual installation of the structure, also has its complexities, and this we're doing concurrently, even while we're doing the base. And we have to, the difficult part that we have to install, we have to place more than 200,000 bolts. And the panels that form the structure, we are also painting them to lend the life of the structure itself. So we're painting with an anti-corrosive paint, which adds about 15 to 20 years to the life of the structure. The final stage in this construction process is the backfilling of the installed structure, which is filling between and on the side of the structure, so we get it up to the level of the runway.
Okay, before you continue, can you explain what it is you're going to be using for the backfilling and how high? What is the level that you're trying to get to?
El relleno sobre los tubos es también, la primera parte es muy mecanizada porque es material.
The first phase of the backfilling process, the first material we put in, is a mechanized process because it's something that we can produce in the concrete plant.
El mismo material que se está colocando en toda la obra.
Once we backfill the structure and we are 90 centimeters above the structure, then from there, they can use any equipment and use the recommended material for the runway. We can, from there upwards, we can use any material. This is the most difficult stage where we're doing the concrete works, and all the different processes after that is a lot quicker. Installation and so for now we can see we have a lot of carpenters here, and we're working day and night trying to get this completed by the end of this month.
Okay, let me ask you, what you're trying to have completed by the end of this month is the concrete works, right? You could answer that.
Yes, concrete works.
Right. So realistically speaking, what kind of time frame are we looking at to get out of the river altogether, to have all the structures put in place and to be getting out of this backfilling and all of that included? What's a realistic time frame?
Todas estas etapas que yo les estaba diciendo.
Well, as you can see, we're not waiting until we finish one phase to continue with the next. So even while we're doing the base of the material of the structure, we're also installing and we're painting, right? So the concrete works, which is the construction of the base, we are trying to have that completed by the end of this month. I think sincerely, in his opinion, the entire thing, backfilling and everything, could be done by me. Installation, backfilling, everything ready for just to put the runway.
Realísticamente.
You see, that is trying to be realistic because there are a lot of other factors that has to come into play because there's one plant but we have a lot of faith in the guys we have here. They've made an extraordinary effort thus far and they're progressing a lot quickly. So if we can't meet the date, it wouldn't be because of our workers. We have an extraordinary team of workers.
Los vicentinos no vamos a fallar.
We the Vincentians will not fail you.
Y los cubanos tampoco van a fallar. Estamos trabajando para terminar la obra, ¿entiendes?
And the Cubans also, they're working hard to finish the project and we will not fail you. And
you are in agreement that even though our guys have not been accustomed to this type of work, they have never done this kind of river spanning before, they are working well and you're getting good results, and we are happy for that. When they're finished, we'll export some of them to Cuba to help you do some of the work over there. Yeah? All right. So Leonardo, I want to thank you for the update that you have given us, and we know that you have a team of men on your supervisory staff, and we're going to chat with a few of them, find out who they are and exactly what their role is around here. Okay, as mentioned before, we are chatting with just a couple of the guys, the supervisory staff on Leonardo's team, and they are going to tell us a little bit about the work that they're doing around here. You have heard from Leonardo that they are working quite well and he's getting good results. I'm going to have them introduce themselves to you and tell you exactly what they are responsible for here at the Argyle International Airport. Let me start with the one on my left. Give us your name, please, and tell us exactly what you're responsible for around here.
Hello, my name is Milton Mears. I'm one of the chief supervisors for Mr. Perez, and currently I'm in charge of preparing all these channels that you see going on the river, get them painted and ready so that they can be installed. And make sure it's all, I'm trying to keep ahead of them, so as soon as they need channels, we have them ready for them.
You're supervising quite a number of men. How is the work progressing for you, and if you can, what has, if you can tell us, been the most challenging aspect of this work for you?
Well, the work is progressing fairly. It can be much better, but as time went go by, well, the most challenging thing I'll say are the workers. But for me, it's basically the men in charge, the foremen and supervisors, and right now we have some good supervisors, good foremen around, so we are getting the target. We are going to be able to bring in the target.
My name is Corwin Hackshaw, and I'm the foreman responsible for the masonry and carpentry aspect of the hydraulic works in the river.
All right, Mr. Hackshaw, you are more in charge of the masonry work, the carpentry work, and I know that has been really time consuming. Describe one of your a day in your work for us. What happens? You get here in the mornings, and from there, what happens? How would you describe a day in your work life here?
Well, the challenge, we overcome it as the day goes by. The main aspect of the work now that we're paying close attention to are some items we call the J-beams. Those have to be precisely placed to take the panels which cause the arches for the river. And I have to be on the back of my workmen very closely, because 1 centimeter off, we have to start all over again, which fortunately has never happened.
And we can't afford for it to happen.
We don't have the time for that.
Which means you have to be spot on with your supervision.
Yes, please. The time is of no aspect to me in terms of the day. I finish whenever it's finished.
Okay, so if you got to come any morning, you work till night, that's what you do?
Which I'm doing right now. We work until sometimes 11 in the night. Okay.
Now, regarding the carpenters and the masons, have you been finding them challenging to work with, or have they been giving you, well, You say you haven't had any problems yet, but has it been a challenge to get them to do what they are supposed to be doing?
Yes, I will say there are a few of them, but I do my assessment daily of them and place them where their capabilities are to get the work very effective.
Okay, and we're continuing down with the form work. How much more would you say you have remaining to get done?
Well, there's a bottom beam where I only have 10 meters of that remaining, which should be completed between today and tomorrow, providing we get the concrete. But the J-beams, I have about 200 meters to go in total.
So are you saying, are you looking, Leonardo was saying that by the end of this month, they should be finished with the concrete work. You're in agreement with that?
Yes, please, and even before, providing we get the concrete.
All right. Well, I want to thank you very much. I hope you get all the concrete you need in time so that you can have it done before by the end of this month, and then we can concentrate on having those steel culverts installed properly. Right. So from here, I'm going to go around to where they're doing the painting of the arches, the pieces of culverts, and talk to one of the painters, find out what their day is like over here at the construction of the Yambou River spanning. So stay with us. We're going to go over there and talk to one of the painters in just a minute. All right, thanks for staying with us. We are now at the paint site. This is where they do the spray painting of the pieces of corrugated steel that we are reassembling for the culverts in the spanning of the Yambou River. This is one of the painters. We have several of them, and they are involved in this work daily. I think each painter, I believe, they have a quota, and we're going to get him to tell us about that. Could you tell us your name, please?
Clement Anderson DeCall.
All right, Clement, can you tell us how long have you been working here at the paint area?
Well, I've been here like, say, at least 6 months now. Yes, ma'am.
And how has the work been going for you?
Well, it's going good so far, but the chemical is a bit strong. Yeah, but otherwise everything is fine so far.
Okay, I know it is strong. I can smell it from where I'm standing here. But you guys have several pieces of protective gear that you have to wear in this job.
Yes, ma'am. To protect yourself and your health and everybody else around us.
Okay, can you describe what those gears are like that you use?
Well, something like what I have on right here, and the dust mask is over the other side. Yes, ma'am. And gloves and the proper gears.
Gloves and everything.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and your hard hat as usual.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Now, how much pieces of these steel culverts are you expected to spray paint per day?
Well, we do about 80 a day. And if the machine is clicking the proper way, then we can do at least 90.
90?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And how many pieces in all do you all have to spray?
Well, we got...
It's a few thousand?
Yes, ma'am. Few thousand well.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Because the spanning of the river here, it's going to go down about close to 1,000 feet going down. Yes, so that's a significant amount. And they install about 120 pieces per day once the crane and everything is clicking, as you say.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So your work is crucial because this spray painting of the pieces, I was told that helps to lengthen the life of the cover.
They last for generation and generation. We wouldn't be alive to see that.
All right. So you're doing your bit, and this is a good bit that you're doing, because this spraying that you're doing here is going to lengthen the life of these culverts and increase the time that we would have to do maintenance on this.
Yes, ma'am. Long time.
It will be a long time before we have to do anything to them.
We take it from the syllabus too. So it's going to be here long generations and generations to come.
All right. And as long as you live, you're going to remember I had a hand in that.
Yes.
I helped to preserve the...
Tell my children them, you know?
Okay.
Yes.
All right, Miss Clement, thank you so much. Thank you very much for chatting with us.
Yes,
and all the best with your work.
Nice speaking with you too, ma'am. And have a nice day.
You too. Thank you. Bye. All right, so this is it from our interview here this evening. We have the northern turning hill almost completed, just little bits and pieces to finish around there. We also have the pouring of concrete, which has started at the general aviation apron. The last time we showed you that, they were setting the molds, and they have actually started the pouring of concrete in that area. And other work continues around the site. We are making real progress here. The river is doing its thing, and very soon we will see the pouring of asphalt, actual asphalt, on the runway. Later this week, weather permitting, we will see actual asphalt pavement get started on the runway here at the Argyle International Airport. So stay tuned. We will be back next week, God willing, with more updates for you. See you next time.